Betty Boob, aka Betty Boop. Bust. Oh, bust.
Okay.
Hello, fuckers. How you doing? Welcome to another episode of Guys We Fcked.
It's the Anti-Slut-Shaming podcast. I'm Corinne Fisher.
I'm Krystyna Hutchinson.
These cameras are way different than they were before. This is way over to the right. All right, wow.
You're framed up
I'm
great,
gonna
though.
screen it. Nah, every week I look at it and it's hitting me hard. It's hitting me hard from the side, and then a good angle on everyone else. I'm like, oh, that seems not fair, but okay, that's fine.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, I mean, I should
Men
just pick
don't
a better seat.
understand women's angles ever.
Clearly not.
Truly never.
Yeah,
I look
Unless
at
they're like perv photographers, which that also sucks. So it's like, well, damned if we do, damned if we don't.
I look at the frame every week and say, this looks great.
yeah, and that's a problem. Okay.
Yeah,
I should really look at it.
I think if a straight guy says it looks good, that means it probably looks bad.
Yeah.
That means like your face is in it.
Yeah.
And
I
that's the
can see you.
extent.
I can see you, and that's as far as we're gonna go. Anyway, hey, thanks for being here. Have you watched our special day? It's our debut stand-up comedy special, available to watch for free on youtube.com/Guys We Fcked without the U and fucked. If you haven't watched it yet, pause this right now and then play it. Thanks.
Yeah, I got to be honest. When I was in Fort Collins this weekend, amazing. Thank you so much. We sold out all the shows. That being said,
yeah.
I asked every audience, like, do you listen to Guys We Fcked? Did you watch the special, to gauge what kind of what jokes I could and could not tell anymore?
Right.
And not everyone had watched the special who listened to the podcast and came out to a live show. So I mean, maybe you're behind in the podcast or something like that. But
way behind.
it's so funny. I can't imagine buying a ticket and leaving your apartment or your house to go see somebody, but not pressing play on youtube.com for free.
Yeah. It's real simple, like.
Yeah. So that's
You can do it. Hey, guys. Also, we have bonus episodes for Luminary subscribers. Only 2 episodes per month where we just read your emails. And if you want to send us an email, it's sorryboutlastnightshow@gmail.com. And with that said, let's get on to this email. The subject line is, I thought I shit out a condom. Uh-oh. Hello, ladies. I'm so thankful for everything that you do to bring us hilarious, informative, and insightful content. I'd like to say that I've become smarter after listening to your podcast, but I'm not so sure now after this. For some backstory, I had a Bumble date that turned into me going back to his place. We started hooking up and I asked him to use a condom. He mentioned that he sometimes has a little trouble figuring out which way they go.
Is he 7? Are you a pedophile?
Oh boy, that is not true, ma'am. Sorry, I called you ma'am. Which I get because they are a little confusing. No, they're not.
They're not.
But come on, you have one job, dude. Exactly. He gets it on and we get it on and finish our first round of freaky sex, and it was amazing. Mutual dirty talk. I love when it's mutual. Me getting flipped and tossed around, spanking, spitting, the works. Ooh, that sounds fun. It was the most fun sex I've ever had. We were both super uninhibited and having a good time. I remember him taking the condom off to come on my butt and throw the condom away, which will be an important detail for later in this whole whodunit of a condom being in my butt. How the wow.
Chekhov's condom.
We do a second round, and again, there's a little struggle with the condom. This guy, he's playing that up, I think. He gets it on, and we do more of the same fun stuff. Now, at the end of this round, I do remember him taking the condom off again to come on me, but I don't remember seeing where the condom went. I didn't think anything of it until 4 days later, I'm doing my lady business, taking a poop, and I look in the toilet, and I see a fully intact condom in the toilet. I freak out. My first thought is that somehow the condom stayed in me, that it's that it made its way from my vagina into my bowels. That's not how that works. I shit it out. I started panicking and texting my friends, trying to figure out how this happened. Google is no help, and I start to think I'm a medical marvel. Thank God I didn't call a doctor, because eventually it dawns on my friend, wait, do you think the condom slipped off inside your vagina and it came out while pooping from forcing your poop out? I immediately feel relieved and slightly like a dumb bitch. I'm very thankful that it came out, because otherwise I had no idea it was in there. What's weird is I had no symptoms, no odor. I even fingered myself the day after we had sex and I didn't feel it in there. Unfortunately, it was not a good day in my friend group for sexual health, and my friend was on her way to Planned Parenthood for an STI test after having unprotected sex and having symptoms. But moral of the story, though, even when you use condoms, you can still go, shit can still go wrong, and there's always risks with sex. Luckily, the guy I slept with had been tested, and so had I. So I should just be fine, and we'll get tested soon. I did have to encourage him to make sure he knows how to put a condom on because I think how it might have slipped off in the first place is he put it on wrong. I take responsibility too because it's both partners' responsibility to make sure they're having safe sex. Just had to share because it is indeed impossible for something in your vagina to travel to your butt in case anyone else was wondering. I love you ladies, a fucker.
No, I don't think anyone else was wondering that. We just knew that.
You can't, nothing can go into your vagina and come out your ass. That's not how it works.
Oh boy.
That's not how it works, baby girl.
You can't put food up your ass and poop out your mouth either.
Yeah. That's not, you can't, the only direction of the holes that they go is from mouth to anus.
Also, I'm confused because you said this guy said he was going to take off the condom to come on you, but then it slipped off before that even happened, in which case he would have known if the condom came off.
There
like,
was
dudes know when so either there was
a moment where he knew it came off and he didn't say anything.
Either that, or the other thing I was thinking of, I was like, maybe it was just in your bed loose and it got stuck to your ass and it came off in the toilet when you were pooping and you thought it was from your poop, but it was actually just stuck to your ass because it's rubbery.
But for 4 days it stuck to your ass?
No. It was in the bed and then just like at that one time, she rolled over. I mean, like there's a million things. Like a lot of times, like
it could have gotten stuck to the toilet bowl and then come out eventually after a couple flushes.
Yeah, I think maybe it was just like in your bed. I don't know. Like I don't know because I'm like, was it in your actual poop or was it like on your poop? Because you're saying it's fully intact, but how do you know that unless you took it out of your chunk of poop? Which I hope you did not do.
I hope you did not do that as well. I'm gonna say it was in your. I don't know, man. Maybe God put it there.
I also don't know how far up a condom can get stuck. Like
it can get pretty far up. But the thing is, you would smell it. And also, I've had a condom stuck in me, and I felt it. I mean, emotionally,
it seems like a lot.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with Corinne that it was probably. I've lost condoms like that.
In vaginas,
right? You have a big old dick, so it would get stuck really far back there. Michael, tell us what happens when
how big is it?
Does a condom fall off frequently?
Well, a condom could fall off if you're wearing a condom that's too small for your dick.
We get it.
And also, let's go over. Putting a condom on is you hold the tip of. I haven't used condoms in a long time. You hold the tip of it. And then you, like the tip of the actual condom, you put it over your dick, and then you
roll it down.
Yeah, you roll down the condom.
I was taught that you put the condom on your thumb, and then you kind of give it like a half roll on your thumb to make sure that it's the side that rolls.
Right, because if you're rolling, it should be out.
Right, and then you kind of put it on the head of your dick and roll it down.
But there's like the little nipple part. The nipple is up, so you can tell it's very clear what the outside and the inside of a condom is.
Sure.
And I mean, especially like you open it up,
also
like
the lube.
It's set up for you. It's set up for success because they know fucking even dumbasses fuck.
Right. Especially they fuck.
Yeah.
To me,
smart people.
It's easy just to know which way you're rolling because it only rolls one way really. Like if you, But if you put it on wrong from the start, you kind of
the nipple
defeats the purpose of having. That's what I was always taught. That like once the outside of the condom is like rolled backwards onto your cock.
Get a new condom because
right,
because if you have an STI or something like it can get then you're fucked. Yeah.
So that's why I do the.
Is there lube on both sides of the condom?
That's a good question. I don't know.
When was the last time you used a condom, Mike?
This weekend.
Wow. Oh, good for you.
Nice.
Wow. You don't remember it, huh?
I just can't remember if there is lube. I think it's more on the outside because if you're using the condom, the woman's vagina is like the lubricant.
Right.
Usually.
Well, because you don't want it to slide off your dick.
Right.
You need lube for her really because it's going in.
Right.
So I don't think I think it's just the outside that's lubricated.
Okay.
But you can tell like when you put a condom on, like you know pretty much immediately that you fucked
also
it up.
one thrust and it's gonna, if it's not on right, one thrust is gonna make it fuck up.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. I, unless he's like in his very early 20s and new to sex, which it didn't sound like from that description. They're spitting on each other and
It's pretty advanced moves.
I just can't see how he doesn't know how to put a condom.
The guy saying he doesn't know how to do a condom, and then he fucking does dirty talk and spanking and fucking makes you watch. Come on.
A little unbelievable.
Come on.
You also shouldn't be having sex with someone who doesn't know how to put a condom on, like, or even says that. Like, I don't.
Yeah, the fact that they say it, like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
To the guy, not you. But I mean, it sounds like you had fun sex. Oh God, I miss kinky fun sex like that. That's fun.
Congratulations, lady.
Oh, come see us live, guys. I'm going to be in London at the Leicester Square Theatre May 12th. And the following day, May 13th, I will be in Dublin at the Sugarland Club. Vonda Carlo will be with me featuring, and I'm so excited to see your beautiful countries. And as always, patreon.com/Krystyna Hutchinson is where you can get the latest episodes of my solo podcast, The Voices in Our Heads. And I do group therapy over Zoom, doing it tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Monday. And it's by the time this comes out, it's going to be over. But patreon.com/Krystyna Hutchinson if you would like to participate.
And then every Saturday, Without a Country comes out. That's a news show hosted by Shane Smith and yours truly. It's a comedic look at the news, but it is like accurate news. It's not like The Onion or anything. A lot of you guys told me that you listened to it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that you told me that it like taught you how to think with less of a bias and realize not to be, click on clickbait and get hysterical about things that are no need to be hysterical about, etc. So that's awesome. And then also, if you're on Instagram anyway, just go over to at Perfectly Centered Store, which is my small business. You don't have to be into anything that we sell. It's just a way to support me that's absolutely free. You can fucking put the account on mute. I don't even care. It's just a follow, and I appreciate it so much, as does John Campanelli. And then make sure to rate and review Guys We Fcked on Apple Podcasts to keep us in the top 200 on the comedy chart. You have been leaving amazing ratings and reviews, and we appreciate that so much. And it's also interesting, like, over the years, what you've taken from the podcast.
They're fun to read.
Yeah, and then we have so much free content. Obviously, our special day, Krystyna and my full-length comedy special that is available for free on YouTube. It's youtube.com/Guys We Fcked without the U and fucked. We also have a web series that we do occasionally called the Dumb Bitch Woo Woo Hour, which has all the elements of woo woo and dumb bitchery that you guys love. And then, of course, our beloved TikTok, which is at Guys We Fcked without the U and fucked, where you can find clips of stand-up, clips from the podcast, just like a really fun watch. And it's a great way to get other people into Guys We Fcked if they have a short attention span, but you've been trying to like tell them, oh, there's a podcast you would really like. I think the TikToks are a great thing to share with them. And again, thank you so much for everyone telling their friends. There's so many people in Fort Collins this weekend who are like brought their friend, and they're like, I've been listening for years. I can't believe you're in Fort Collins. I brought like these 5 friends who had never saw it. So that's the way the podcast really spreads, and we really appreciate that very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
How are you?
Good. I'm so tired. It's very hard to get to Fort Collins because you're going to Denver and then you're going an hour further. And I was only there for 2 days, and I've barely slept.
2 days.
So it was a lot of travel. And then when you're there, it's a lot of like walking around.
Yeah.
And mountains.
A lot of mountains.
A lot of what's it called? The height, the
elevation. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't. It's so funny. I usually get like a headache or lightheaded. I didn't at all this time.
Nice.
I don't know. I didn't like. Everyone was like, "Don't drink," and I was like, "I barely drink anyway when I'm on the road, so it doesn't matter." Yeah, I was trying to think. I mean, if Fort Collins was interesting because everyone was like, oh, it's not Denver. And I'm like, yeah, it's not Denver. You guys are a lot more sensitive here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's like one of those like fucking hippie towns. Again, thank you for selling it out. But, and I said this on stage also, it's like one of those hippie towns where people are, like to wear a lot of buttons for causes, but actually aren't doing anything about the cause.
Ah, right. They want to feel.
They live in Fort Collins. What can you do from there?
Right.
Yeah.
Except spread awareness via a button.
Yeah. So it's just funny. I mean, night one, I immediately pissed off a hospice nurse, and then She literally waited in line. Well, like, and then, so this story really tells, I'm always pissing people off.
Oh my God, you really are, but you're not doing anything. You guys, consult yourself first before you yell at Corinne.
It's just like when someone, acts like an adult and says things assertively, people take it as a targeted attack.
Yes.
And also, like, I was fucking, I was working on all this new material, which I've been like frantically preparing for this Fort Collins gig. Like I was paying goddamn Radio City Music Hall because I just didn't, I said I didn't remember agreeing to this gig, and I really didn't want to go on the road and I wanted to do mostly new material, which I achieved, but goddamn, I almost killed myself getting to that point.
Yeah, it's a big whew.
And so I was writing so much new material leading up to it, and like up until the night before, I was working it out, like, and I had a good set at the stand before I left, and I was like, okay, I think I have like like at least 25 brand new, and then I felt comfortable, figuring out the rest. And so obviously a lot of the jokes were about my dead dad.
Yeah, okay.
Because that's what I'm working on right now. Yeah. And I even like preface things with being like, hey, like, but whatever. It's my fucking experience.
Exactly.
Never mind. I don't want to get into it in depth because I'm still working out the materials and I don't want to work it on a podcast. Like that's why you go to clubs. So you're working it out in front of a small group of people instead of, a million people. You're working it out in front of a couple hundred people.
Yeah.
And like I was very forthcoming about that on stage, but I mean it's funny because both Rosebud Baker and Joe DeRosa have jokes about nurses, and they're like. They always say like no one's more sensitive than a nurse. Like Rosebud even has like Rosebud's sister is a nurse, and she has a joke in her special that's something about like nurses are heroes and they'll let you know it. Like And I remember Joe DeRosa also a while back on Comedy Central did a bit about nurses, and he got so much kickback from that too. And so just so you know, like if you're a nurse out there, creating this narrative that you are untouchable only makes comedians want to touch you more.
100%.
So like if you, and like there is no occupation where you are without error, and that includes comedians, which is, but like when you're going to a club, it's not a finished special. You're watching people work stuff out. But I don't care about the offensiveness. That's not the point of this joke. The point of the story is how, heterosexual men do not know their wives at all because the hospice nurse, her husband, it was his birthday, he was 52, of course he was like heckling the whole time. It was like positive heckling, and I did have time in the set to do crowd work, so I was like, honestly, we'll just lean into this. And it was so refreshing to have it not be a drunk white girl for once.
It always usually is that. So
I was like, great, you can be the problem in the audience today, like I'm thankful for that. So he was heckling, we were going back and forth, and then he was like making the whole show about him. And then I didn't realize until after the show that the hospice nurse was his wife, and they were both like in their late 40s, early 50s. He was 52, I believe. And then after the show, he was like, oh my God, thank you so much. That was like great. And I was like, oh, you're the heckler. And I knew because he sounded just like Todd Barry. Or maybe that was the other guy. Actually, that was the other heckler from another show. But I don't know. I just knew it was him because there's not that many 52-year-old men in my audience. And then
a meek voice for a heckler.
Yeah. And then he was like, he was just like, my wife was the hospice nurse. I think she'd really like to say hello to you. Like, come over. And he was like saying it excitedly. And then I went over and immediately I read her energy and I go, she does not want to say hello to me. She's pissed about the joke because she made it about her. And then also, side note, I was like, oh, what a surprise. Two people who make everything about them are married to each other.
Wow.
He made the show about him. She made the joke about her. I was like, you actually are seemingly are not a good couple, but actually are a couple made in heaven.
You should hang out with my parents.
Yeah, it was insane.
I think you have a couple friends.
It was insane. I was like doing all these connections just like rapidly in my head. So she's like, and also like to be a grown ass woman, like standing there with your arms crossed, waiting to meet a comedian after the show, like
to tell her, give her a piece of your mind.
But it was more so like that the man genuinely thought like me saying hello to her was going to make it better. I was like, how long have you been married that you absolutely don't know your wife at all? It was crazy. I was just like, I felt like I was a couples counselor and just being like, you guys aren't communicating at all. And then I also went back and forth because I was like, but also it's annoying of her to make this night like to be in a sour mood on his birthday. Like even if he's acting like a fool, like it's his fucking birthday. It happens once a year. Like you have to really walk around huffing and puffing about some jokes. Like what if you think you're like the It was just
Also, the joke was about your experience.
It was about my experience, and I stand by what I said
Jesus
about
Christ.
hospice nurses. It's really funny. And it's also like, if you feel insecure enough about like your occupation, that one fucking comedian that you've never
Yeah.
met before or heard before in your entire life is going to make you question your whole occupation.
to me-
I think that you have some doubts about what you're bringing to the table.
Yes, 100%. I was going to say, you have doubts about your efficacy as a nurse. There's no other thing that could ever mean.
And then she was like, I'm a hospice nurse and I was offended about what you said. And I literally go, look,
Were you taking care of my dad?
I look her straight in the eye and I said, well, I was here to say hi, not to talk about whether or not my jokes offended you. Have a good night. And I walked away.
Yeah,
We're not having these discussions after shows, guys. We're just not having them.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what happened to the show, what happened in your life. My jokes are not about you.
Right,
Okay.
it's an escapism.
The only jokes that I've ever even responded to people being offended by were jokes that I was telling it about individual people. And in that case, I stood by what I said again because I wasn't making up lies, and then I called a litigator. So I swear to
Right,
God,
right.
if you want to play this game with me, I will get the law involved because the law is on my side.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
allowed to fucking tell jokes, and I'm so sick of people
Also,
pretending that you can't.
if-
I will,
yeah.
and this is a hill I will die on.
Yeah, it's a worthy hill.
I don't give a shit. My whole career, there's no point in pursuing this career if you're not going to stand by what you say.
Oh, yeah.
No point.
100%.
No
Yeah.
point.
And the gall of that guy to lure you in under false pretenses that his wife just wanted to say
No,
hello.
she genuinely
He
thinks that
wasn't-
his wife would have been amped to talk to her.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Like, he was dumb.
yeah.
So you think this is a full just misfire?
So-
Yeah,
So
no,
men-
I could tell his personality. He was just like a goofy dog prancing over, and also he probably thought that I was gonna be different off stage and shake her hand and be like, "Thank you for your service." Nope, I certainly was not. and also, I have said numerous times on the podcast that I did. And my dad was treated very kindly by people in hospice. That was not what the joke was about at all.
Yeah.
I said many times, like, I'm thankful for the nurses, not the doctors, because they gave up months before, you know?
Right.
You know, that's what the joke was just about, the experience of hospice in general.
That's the thing that pisses me off, though. Whenever somebody's fucking mad at a comedian, it's never about the actual comedian. It's always
course
some
not.
shit that the person who's pissed off is dealing with. And it's like, can we just be public about that and like be very clear that you're not mad at what we say, you're mad at you. You're mad at something that's happening in your world, in your life, in your mind, something you maybe can't control, something you're ashamed of. Regardless of what it is, it's all you and not the comedian. Like, that is so important. And that's why I think it's so interesting. Comedians catch so much shit from people because
we're accessible,
also we're the only ones making you fucking think about how you feel and how you think and how you act and how you live your life. Like, if we didn't, you wouldn't be so fucking reactive.
Right. And I would even argue that we're making you think more than you're a therapist, because what I've learned,
100%. Therapists are too cushiony.
yeah, what I've learned over the past like couple of years, especially with therapy being like so much more part of the mainstream, is that a lot of your therapists are just like condoning
Support
all
dogs.
your behavior.
Yeah.
And like, cause I even know, because like, I will like question my therapist on like, on things that I'd come to her with, and I go, she'll be like, no, but that was, and I go, no, actually that behavior like wasn't okay. I don't know what the fuck world you're living in. Like, what I did was not okay.
Right.
And I'm not here for you to tell me it was okay. I'm here for you to for us to figure out together why I keep doing this thing. You know, I'm like, whether it's not okay is not even on the table. I know it's not. That's why I'm asking you about it. If it was okay, we wouldn't be here having a conversation about it.
Yeah.
But it's so crazy.
Therapy that actually moves the needle.
Well, it's also really hard having like working on sad content in comedy because people make it about them, and it's so funny. I had a really funny exchange. I can't wait to get the tape back with a woman whose parent also died, and I was like, aren't you sick of everyone fucking making it about them? And then you're trying to get through the muck of the depression, and everyone's like, this is making me uncomfortable, or I'm sad, or why are you mad at me? And she's like, yeah. And then it was just me and her going back and forth, having the same like very similar experiences. And so thank you.
nice.
You came up to me after the show. I appreciate you. But yeah, because you can feel the entire audience tense up. So
yeah, I love those bits though. I'm trying to work on something about a narcissistic parent, and there was only one show I'll never forget, similar to the moment that you said you had, where there was one guy who had a narcissistic parent, and you could tell he just found out.
Right.
And I'm like, you'll never be the same after that. And he almost fell off his chair. No one else gave a shit about what I was saying, and I was like, this is only for you. And thank you for validating my
yeah. It's just amazing
great.
to sit in a comedy show and then somehow make everything the comedian is saying about you.
Yeah, man.
It's literally about, that's like the point of it. Like whatever comedian you're watching, the whole set's about them.
Yeah. And it's but also as a comedy audience member, you have the opportunity to escape into another person's mind. Do it. Don't fucking leave your mind at home.
Yeah, I hear people say crazy things about women all the time on stage, and I would argue that's more about me than other material. But like, I don't care. I go, that's just the way that person looks at women, or their experience that they've had with women, and that's valid and that's fine. I don't care. Doesn't matter.
It's just sharing our inner thoughts. That's what comedy is, and it's being tactful about them and being funny and taking you. We're Willy Wonka. Taking you into our chocolate factory.
Yeah, I mean,
sounds like anal sex, but you know what I mean.
It's just a testament to how powerful comedy is. So whether you guys,
it really is,
want to respect it or not, it's obviously bothering you.
It gets under your skin, huh?
It's obviously bothering you. And my work here is done.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
It was uneventful. I was sick. I woke up Saturday.
Yeah, you sound sniffly.
Yeah, I woke up Saturday sounding like ass, and then fucking when Andrew Schultz invited us to his after party, I wanted to go so bad.
Oh, you didn't go?
No, because I was so tired. I went to my spots because I didn't have COVID. I took the instant test, so it's like, I was this COVID, and I really wanted to do my spots. I like a 20-minute spot on New York Comic Con on a weekend. Like, that's a good, I love those spots. So I did the spots, but then, and I tried to stay up, but I couldn't.
Oh, damn. It started
at 12:30. Yeah. So my weekend had a lot of sleeping in it and a lot of just cuddling with Kevin.
Well, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it was nice, and a lot of inner terror. This is one thing that so far I've noticed from doing ketamine therapy is I have this like inner terror. Like, it feels like a black cloud of like I don't know if you've ever seen like Chronicles of Narnia or something, like with like all those sci-fi dream sequences when like there's like a cloud of like war people and stuff, like just like lingering over a character. Like, that's how it feels, and I still feel that way. Like, it feels like somebody's about to like kill me at any moment is the best way I could describe it.
Did they give you a heads up that might happen?
No, I've been feeling that for the past 2 years.
Oh, so that has nothing to do with the ketamine.
No, exactly. But what I'm saying is, one difference I have experienced with the ketamine is, yes, that terror is still there, but I feel a little separate from it, and that feels great.
Oh,
so
okay.
I feel like so progress. Yeah.
How many times did you do it? Once?
Just once. It's a total of six total. Times total.
How long do you have to wait in between?
1 to 2 weeks. They were like, as long as you're consistent in between. So it's if it's 1 week or two, whatever it is.
Oh, okay.
Make sure you're consistent. So yeah. We'll see. But boy, anxiety, huh? It's a bitch, and you just gotta breathe in and breathe out. And that's last night I came home and I was like, I'm just gonna think breathe in and breathe out. Those are the only thoughts I'm gonna think for like 3 hours.
Well, I honestly don't know how you guys with like anxiety, because like I only had anxiety since my dad died.
Welcome.
I don't know how you have drink coffee. Like, I'm drinking it today for the first time in weeks.
I'm so tired.
I know, but I'm telling you, I think that it's making your guys' anxiety worse.
It is. There's no question about it.
I really
don't know how to like. I really try to how do I get more energy in me? Like, if I'm just physically so tired.
What you're eating, probably.
Well, I've been changing my diet, just fruits and veggies.
Yeah, because I was like, a green juice to me like gives me just as much. Like, I needed a coffee today because of my travel schedule was really wild. But like, I literally haven't drank coffee in weeks because I was like, I can't imagine putting any more like
juice in your body.
Yeah, because even if you're physically tired, your chest is telling you if you're what rate your heart is going at, and it's way too much to add coffee to that.
In my case, I was taking antidepressants for most of last year, and then I was also, they gave me anxiety meds, which was like really to help me sleep.
Yeah,
and it's not like benzo. It was a hydroxyzine, which is like it's like an allergy medication almost.
Right,
but it would make so I would sleep great when I took it, but I would need coffee to kind of like wake me up in the morning and like mellow me out, like level me.
Were you getting a full 8 hours though? Because a lot of times that medication is only like
I was
prescribed
getting like
to
10.
Oh,
when
okay, because I was like, that's
it would
important.
knock me out.
Right.
And
Wow,
then
that
so when
sounds
I would
nice.
wake up, but I like last year when I was on those meds, everything was great. Like
Right.
On the anti-anxiety meds.
100, yeah,
Did
anti-anxiety
it fuck
and
with your
Lexapro.
creativity?
No, I felt honestly, I felt
Fucking all comedians are on it. Yeah.
I felt the best I've ever felt in my life from like May
Fuck, okay.
till probably right around November, and then I got off the antidepressants when we were working on your special. It was like that weekend. I was like, all right, I'm going to try to get off this and see.
Oh,
and
thank
now
you.
Yeah,
I'm
thanks
getting
for
back on.
experimenting on our special day.
I'm going to absolutely get back on them, but it's like I just need them. But
Yeah.
because of those meds, like I had found the formula that works.
I just
and
really-
trying to
I don't
kick
think I've-
coffees. Like
Yeah.
it's just you get like withdrawals and it's like
Well,
tough.
I mean, good because you're addicted to it, just like
Yes.
anything else. I mean, but
Yes.
yeah, I can't. I take a sip and I go, I can't imagine having heavy anxiety and drinking a coffee every day. It feels like
it's not good.
it feels like a nightmare waiting to happen. But also, I've never talked to anyone who went on antidepressants who said I didn't think they were amazing.
They're the
I've heard
best.
people switching
okay.
them.
There's
but
a part of me.
yeah.
There's a couple of things going on with that. Part of me, and I know, no offense to anybody who takes them, because I know logically this is not the case, but I really would love to fucking figure it out for myself
It's
if I
not-
could.
I just don't think, as somebody that really absolutely needed them.
Yeah.
I understand the logic that they want
Because
you
I'm
to
like, if
take
there's
them for a little
something else
bit
I
and
should
get
be
off.
doing, like thinking, like if there's a part of my thought process that's causing my depression, then I want to fix that.
But I think some of it, I mean, antidepressants are working with brain chemistry.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and genetically, you
Yeah.
have a lot of mental illness in the family. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's, you by taking an antidepressant, you are figuring it out.
Yeah, the other thing is that's when all the times my mom's tried to kill herself was when she was on antidepressants. So
Well, I know.
Oh, yeah, I
and
get that.
we similarly have a terrible reaction to the birth control pill. Like she went into psychosis the way I did, but which I mean, it's not like I haven't gone into psychosis before and I don't know what to do when that happens. But I want to see if this mind bloom thing sticks. Whoa.
I'll cut that out.
I was like, what?
Upgrade.
That was Beyonce saying, hey, it's okay, girl.
For your parking. Oh, it's my brother. Hopefully mom's okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna see if what this ketamine therapy can do, and then go from there. It's just, woo. I realized no one raised me, so I'm just trying to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say about it is I had a great summer, and I really, really would like to go back on them because my anxiety is really bad, and I think Lexapro really helped level me out. And it was, I mean, I really like. I did not feel nearly as anxious last summer.
Wow.
Well, I think it's
just
also
felt
finding that recipe
good.
sometimes takes a while
Yeah,
for people.
some
Because sometimes
experimentation.
people need multiple. Like even Georgia Hardstark was just talking on Instagram about like she found a good recipe that worked, and it was like it was Lexapro, but it was 2 other things. I'm not like super familiar with all
Okay.
this stuff, but
10 milligrams of Lexapro. I mean,
Hopefully, get that health
Get
insurance.
me in there
soon.
again.
nice.
Yeah. Well, so we'll see.
Well, stay tuned, guys. And you know what
Yeah.
else you should stay tuned for? Our interview with today's guest. He is a stand-up comedian, longtime friend of ours, and host of the Why Did I Say That podcast. Please welcome to the show, GIBRAN SALEEM.
We are here with stand-up comedian GIBRAN SALEEM. So excited to have you here. You were just telling us you have a couple stories. One of them being
Yeah.
the time your mom tried to talk to you about
She
sex.
tried to.
And you shoot her away.
No, it was weird because she tried to. This was in high school. My parents are divorced, which is not common for a Pakistani. I was living with my mom, my stepdad, but I remember we were in our Dodge Caravan that had this weird purpley color.
Nice.
It's like eggplantish.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My
disgusting
ex-boyfriend's
in a
mom-
car though.
Yeah,
like
right.
it's not an ideal. Anyways,
Eggplant.
we're in the garage. I don't know if we're about to leave or we're arriving, and my mom starts telling me of some confusing questions, and so she was basically like, you're going to be meeting people, and I'm like, okay, people, yeah, I've met people, and you're going to be meeting girls, and one of these girls, that you might have feelings for the girl, and
Aw.
she might have feelings back, and then you guys might start dating, and then. And
I
then,
like this talk.
Yeah, it was a nice. I'm trying to figure
It's
out
very
what her
gentle.
objective is in this because I didn't know it was a sex talk.
Oh, you were genuinely like, yeah, what's up? Why?
Yeah,
And you're already in high
confused.
school.
I was like, you didn't.
And I was
you
already in
didn't-
high school,
You didn't
yeah.
smell it out that she was about to. Oh, okay. That's
No,
why,
I didn't
why.
spell it because she didn't spell it out.
Right.
So I didn't even know. And then she's like, and then you might go to college together, and then
God, Mom, you
might
planning my wedding?
like married, and you'll have a nice. So, and then she started crying. Because I think her initial goal was to talk about sex, but then it just became some
About love?
romantic love story that she's building in her head about.
And she's like, I gotta talk to somebody. I gotta go.
Yeah, exactly. It just became a story about me falling in love with someone else in high school, and we go to college
And
a
leaving your
good
mom
college,
behind.
Yeah.
leaving her behind, and then moving into a nice house, and we get married. And she started crying
And
at
then
the end
she's
of
yelling
it.
at you like, why did you betray me, son? You're like,
Yeah,
nothing
yeah,
happened. Mom. I
she's just
still
having
live
her
with you."
own like fantasy / nightmare,
Wow.
and I don't even think sex came up.
Wow. Wow.
It was just a weird like vision that she was having with me next to her. I think she
sweet.
might have ended it with so like, be careful.
Oh, be careful out there. Wear rubber.
Yeah, be careful. You might fall in love and get married
That's
and own a house.
so vague. So did that stay with you, or were you just like, okay?
I mean, I knew about sex
Were you already
since I was a
fucking?
kid. Huh?
How'd you learn?
No, I wasn't already fucking. I wish.
Oh.
I would have loved to be already fucking.
Who taught you about sex? How'd you learn?
Porn.
Yeah.
Like every
How
guy.
old are you?
35.
Oh, okay. So we're all the same age. So,
Yeah,
but internet porn was way more rare when we were a teenager.
Yeah, I mean, you had to be way more determined and patient.
So a guy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
Yeah, so I'd be
Could you get it
waiting
on like
hours.
Napster or?
No, it wasn't. I think it was after Napster. I don't know, but
America Online.
America Online.
Those CDs.
I remember there's a big thing in my house. This was in Virginia when I was living with my dad and my stepmom, and I had a lot of brothers. And there's this big drama in the house of, I think someone opened up a browser and it was like tittiesoftheweek.com.
Great website.
Great website. Oh, no.
After the underwear, there's the titties of the week.
I think it was like wet titties of the week. It was
Wet
more
titties.
specific,
That's
yeah.
even better.
Dry titties.
Yeah,
I mean,
no one
everyone
wants a
likes
dry titty.
titties, but wet titties. I
Wet
mean, that's
titty.
next level.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And I was the youngest, and they all thought it was me. And it definitely wasn't me.
Wow.
It was definitely one of my brothers who just didn't own up to it, and they just thought it was me.
Wait, how many siblings do you have?
So my parents are divorced, remarried. I have one older brother, 3 older stepbrothers.
Wow.
2 younger half brothers.
That's a lot of brothers.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's a lot of kids.
You have no
And then
sisters?
no, I have a lot of sisters.
Oh wow.
One older sister, 2 older stepsisters, and 1 younger half sister.
So your
Wow.
family does like to fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so then why
Of
they?
course.
Yeah.
I have like 9 aunts on my
Wow.
grandmother's.
Your
That's a
family
lot of
really
fucking.
that's a lot of
yeah,
fucking.
That's a lot of
That's a lot of fun.
loose hips.
And not talking about it though.
Oh no one's talking about it at all.
Jesus.
My dad never talked to me about sex. My mom tried to talk to me about sex, but
And then talk to you about love.
yeah, but it became a love story.
Oh, that's really
Yeah.
sweet though. Oh my
So
God.
maybe that's why I lost my virginity when I was 23. It was on my 23rd birthday.
Okay, that's a great age to lose your virginity. I think. How did you feel
It
about
is?
it? I don't know. I think of all
He came feeling shame to the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm 34 now, so I'm like the sex that I had up when I was like 24, 25. That's when the sex I was having was started to get really good.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me up until then. So I'm like, man, all those teenage years. I guess I was practicing, but it's like I didn't know who I was, so like I had no
Yeah.
business fucking.
I think the reason why I had sex when I was 23, I mean, for many reasons. One is I wasn't being offered sex till I was
Oh,
23.
that'll do it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think though, like,
Offered.
I mean, no one was down to have sex with me that I also
Which
was
is
down to
good.
have
You,
sex
yeah,
with.
you weren't just taking it from people.
No, I wasn't.
So that's good for
there
you.
were options at times. I didn't know there were options at the time. In retrospect, I'm like, oh shit, she was into me.
Yeah, guys always miss that.
Oh,
Guys do
completely.
not. As much as guys are so horny and want to fuck, when a gal wants to fuck them, they're like,
I guess she just wants to be my friend. I don't even know.
No, especially when we're here, we literally need someone to say, I want to have sex with you.
Why
Like,
is that? Why?
Because when we watch porn, that's what happens.
Yeah, but
To an
when we
extent.
directly say we want to have sex with you, then you lose interest in us as mates. Like,
what the fuck's that
that's
about?
how we open it.
Because then we're not chasing you.
Oh, why you got to chase? Go to the gym.
It adds value somehow.
Yeah.
But listen, if a girl offered me
You're right.
sex blatantly, I wouldn't turn it down.
To get something easily
Yeah.
doesn't feel as exciting.
Yeah.
hear-
That I
hear
get.
it. Yeah.
I think there's this weird thing. Maybe it's in Pakistani South Asian households, but when guys watch porn, their expectation of sex is different.
I mean, I think
Right?
that's guys.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think. But can you be a little more descriptive in that? Like, how do you mean?
Well, so I mean, like guys have a false image of what sex is.
Yeah.
And I think when you're growing up in a household where your mom is trying to have a sex story and it becomes a romantic love life story,
Yeah.
then you have a false sense of love.
Right.
Yeah.
And
that's
you
not-
only have sex when you're in love, in like the ideals I had in my head.
Okay.
So that's why I didn't have sex till I was 23, because
Wow.
she had to be this perfect woman that I would be with forever.
See,
I think that's common. Yeah.
It's common.
That I feel like is the roots of a Madonna whore complex in a way,
Okay.
because you're still going to be horny whether you're in love or not.
course.
Whether you want to fuck the person that you're in love with. If you're not in love, then you're saving your like sexual appetite, your like ferocious sexuality towards what? Towards porn or towards like
100%.
fantasizing about somebody. So then what's happening is you're compartmentalizing rough kinky sex, but that has nothing to do with love. And this like love making with this woman, that's because I'm marrying her. So you can't fuck the woman you're going to marry dirty when she wants to
Yeah.
get fucked dirty.
Yeah.
Like, you know, hook a leash up to me and make me walk around the house, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But you're like, I can't. You're my wife. I love you. I can't do that to
Yeah.
you.
I think I'm still like that.
Wow, really?
Well, I was looking up the actual like root of the Madonna whore complex because
I don't even know what that is.
You know, really?
So you
No.
can't. So
They
the
talk
woman,
about it on Dawson's Creek, Gibran.
you can't be dirty and kinky and really fuck the woman you love, because that's your
Okay.
wife. That's your lover. That's your
Yeah.
and you save all the fun shit for somebody else.
Well, Freud,
Yeah,
it says.
I think I have that.
Yeah, Freud argued that the Madonna
Case
horror
closed.
complex was caused by a split between the affectionate and the sexual currents in the male desire.
Freud listened to Madonna.
Yes, exactly.
well, there was one before that one. I don't know. If you know that.
Yeah, so I mean, and I guess that always comes up in male desire,
Yeah.
and can be exacerbated by conversations such as the one that your mom had with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. I sometimes have found that like it's like the guy that I really like, I want him to like fuck me up, like not fuck me up, but like in my own way, be kinky together. And so
Yeah.
when a guy is like, I can't do that to you, I'm like, you're dead to me, and I move on. I get really mad.
Yeah.
And it's a common problem, like for when women give birth for the first time. A lot of times that will change their male partner's vision of them, because like now that's the mother of my children. Like I can't come in her face.
Yeah. I have that. I mean,
You can be
like,
honest; it's okay.
You can.
I'm
We're comics,
very
right?
high empathy. And that's not good if I'm in a relationship with someone, because I think it, like when you say like a girl cry that you care about, which is going to happen when you're in a relationship,
Right.
it's hard to like slap them in the face and call them a slut.
Well, usually those two things don't happen.
You
at
know
the
what
same
I'm saying?
time.
Like-
yeah, but you don't slap her in the face and call her a dirty little whore while she's crying. Oh, I guess you do, Jabron.
Oh, I'm freaky.
Oh,
no,
wow.
no, I don't. No, I don't.
A
But
lot of
that
kinky
emotion
sex
stays there.
A lot of kinky sex does include some of it does include crying, but I don't think you're talking about that.
I could never have sex with a girl who's.
Wait, do you mean
Right.
your personal sex, or do you mean kinky sex in
Oh
general?
no, kinky sex in general.
Oh,
Like, I've
okay,
seen a
yes.
kink.com video where like the
Yeah.
girl's like crying, but it's like part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
but
me
she,
too.
She
yeah.
did.
I don't like that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for some, yeah. I think
But
I
so
have a
if-
Madonna
if-
whore complex.
If your partner is crying, like, so you're saying that seeing your partner in like a distressed emotional state, that carries over for when you're thinking about like having sex and slapping her and getting dirty.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, so you got to compartmentalize.
I need to compartmentalize
Right,
because
right.
then I now view
I thought
them.
I thought guys start compartmentalizing naturally when they get hard. That's like a thing, guy. Like,
Yeah, but then you get hard less.
Are you the male? Are you the masculine energy in your relationships, or do you fluctuate between being the feminine energy and the masculine energy?
I think
That's a very feminine answer.
I know. It is.
I am a boy, so masculine. No, but every relationship, regardless
I think
if it's
so.
two trans people,
You
one
fluctuate?
cis man, one gay.
No.
Oh, you think you're the masculine?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm really silly. I think sometimes being silly can be feminine.
Yeah,
I
sometimes.
understand what you're saying. It's just funny that when you start like responding to yes, I'm the masculine energy with I think, that reads so feminine.
Why don't you know what you want, Jabron?
I guess I don't want to come off, and maybe that's just a superficial thing. Like I'm like dominating, and like we only do this, we only go here, we only eat what I want to eat.
That's an abusive relationship.
Yeah, I guess so.
That
it
I
is.
would say.
Well, I don't want to be tied to that, so that's why I led with I think.
We actually
It's
came here to
preventative.
trick you
Yeah,
into
I don't
admitting
know.
that
I
you're
don't
an
know.
abuser.
I knew it.
It's so funny. So many of our male comedian friends come on the show and they think like this is like some kind of a trick show.
Like an
No, I
interrogation.
didn't think it was
where
a
we're
trick
just getting
show at all.
clips of you to upload to the internet so that you're on a list. It's not the. I promise you, it's not the
I'm
case.
tricking myself somehow. That's
What
why.
kind of sex do you like to have with a partner? Like, is it more kinky? Is it more romantic? Is it what's the tone?
I like to dominate.
Okay. The way you said that was not very dominating, but okay.
Well, because it depends on the person.
Right, exactly. Like
Because they have limits.
some women like- yeah.
Some women will say they like things kind of rough or to be choked, and then you do like a mini grip, and they're like, "Oh no!" And,
oh, really? Oh, that's lame.
well, for me, in my experience,
Right.
anytime a girl has told me that they like it like a little rough, and then I go a little rough, and it's like, oh wait,
When you go
You
a little
mean like
rough,
a little
what are we talking?
Yeah.
Like hand gently on the throat,
hand gently on the throat,
just like placed, no pressure.
Can you
place, but then
not
a
big
little
hand.
bit grip.
Can you
Oh, this is
do it to
fun. I could
Krystyna?
totally do it.
If it's okay
I like
with her?
it.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
it rough, Jabron.
Oh my god.
I would start like
that's
this.
great.
No. But this is the start. But then I'd kind of go.
Well, now I can't breathe.
Okay, yeah. Okay, then
you-
I'm
you
doing
can't-
it
You're
wrong.
not supposed to
Yeah,
actually
okay, yeah.
choke her out.
Okay, well, I guess that makes
All right,
sense.
I'm glad
yeah.
you're here. We're glad
Yeah,
you're
I'm
here.
learning. I'm learning.
And then you know what I heard actually?
But I barely-
13 minutes and 21 seconds if we want to clip that.
I barely.
100%. Can you write that down?
Timestamp.
But in my head, I barely applied pressure. Maybe I'm just
at first,
so
yes.
strong and masculine.
You're a man. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm
you're
left-handed.
you're a man with
Oh,
your
you're
hand.
left-handed. Mm.
You're a man with
The
your hand
devil's
around
hand.
the woman of the neck of a woman. So you got but the what you did initially, perfect. You Just
Okay.
do that the whole time.
Okay.
Unless and
that's
then
not even rough,
if
that's
she
just-
wants it to be harder, she'll do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the clues
yeah,
that we
yeah.
give.
Well, and
Yeah.
also I think okay, so I think sexually the mistake people make is actually going for the choking, but like which I have to use two hands if I'm choking a guy because my hands are literally so
little.
small.
Okay.
But when men are choking, you don't actually have to choke. If you were on top, for instance, and you're choking her, you can just use a little bit of your body weight to help lean
Yeah.
in, but don't actually grip.
Yeah.
I think it's like because it's the weight that feels good, but the gripping actually starts to feel scary.
Yeah, like you're getting choked.
Because when people want to get choked, like you just want a little weight on. You don't actually want to feel like you're getting choked.
But just the
'cause
word
that's-
choked is
that's
so aggressive.
frightening.
So I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's choked.
Yeah.
But you're talking about like a weighted blanket on your neck,
Yes.
which is just like emotional
Exactly.
support.
Me saying,
now you
Jabron,
understand
I'm
women.
getting it. Okay.
Jabron, me saying, choke me, but make it feel like a weighted blanket on my neck. It's too many words. It's going to
Yeah.
take me
Of
out of the
course.
moment. It's too much
Okay.
to communicate.
Yeah.
So when we say that, and if we want it harder, we'll let you know.
So why are we even calling it choking?
Because that's what we
should
call
just
it. That's
be
just,
like-
because it looks like that. Because-
Turtlenecking.
But
Turtlenecking is a great term.
Because even the word choking makes it feeds into the dirty
Okay,
nature
yeah,
of
yeah.
the act.
Right,
Do you know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
Like a
right,
rape
yeah.
fantasy, which is, now being more called like a ravish fantasy, but like a rape fantasy,
Ravish.
I don't want to actually be sexually assaulted at all. That's exactly the opposite of what I want to happen.
Yeah.
But what I want to happen is just like a dominant, powerful, like,
Yeah.
interaction
Yeah.
sexually. So it's like, we say the words, but that also, the words feed into the fantasy.
Yeah.
You're just taking shit literally.
Literally, yeah.
Right. Which, I understand, but yeah.
I've
you
never
gotta-
called a girl slut.
That's lame. In bed?
Because I kind of want to.
Yeah,
Just to
you know
try
what?
it out.
Do you know what I saw on Instagram? Actually, a couple accounts that I follow.
Let
'cause I
'em
follow a
know.
lot of
No.
sexperts and stuff. When a guy, and it has to be, you have to have a good rapport sexually with the guy before he says this. But good girl, whoo,
You like that?
Oh, my
okay.
I hate that, but I had
Oh my God.
I had a boss who used to
just
say
saying
that
it.
to me, like when I would
Ew,
do
what?
things
Ew.
good, like well, and I was like,
Oh,
See,
well,
no,
that's not in the bedroom. Then it's like
Yeah, no,
it's
anywhere
more
else?
perverted.
well, but yeah, so it's in
Yeah.
my
Oh,
it's in my
God.
head
Right.
registered
Yeah.
under.
It's like you can't name your kid
No.
something because you know
Good
someone
girl.
that name was a bitch.
Fuck.
Yeah.
How did you not slit his throat?
Yeah, that's
I actually it was a boss I
Jesus.
really liked, you know, and it's like
good girl.
it's just it's a boss I really liked, and like what I wasn't really a lot younger than him, and so
Yeah,
I
that's
just
odd.
and it wasn't sexual, so you know I think when people say things that are like kind of like strange but like their intention, I mean you can't. I'm not trying to nitpick every single thing out of someone's mouth.
Yeah.
That's not a life I want to live.
Yeah.
So
It's specific to the dynamic you had with him. In the context.
Exactly.
I get that.
Did I like it? No, but did I think he had any malintent with with it? No. Also
Yeah.
no. So got to pick it apart. But
Yeah.
good girl is like that's interesting because I don't know. I think you said this on. Yeah, you said this on air. Someone called you like kiddo or something, and you didn't like it.
Yeah, kiddo. Kiddo?
Because to me, that's like very like
Sexually, like in the bedroom, they called you kiddo.
No, over text.
See, I thought that was like very like old school charm.
Yeah, I guess it could be. I just the way that our particular vibe was. That's not
Right.
what I wanted to hear from him.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
Kiddo could be fun, but not in any sort of romantic. I'm
Right.
into you. It's like
Yeah.
paternal.
But like when a guy like grabbed me like by the neck and say "good girl," I'm like, oh, just fucking let's go to Vegas now.
But if he grabbed you by the neck and said kiddo,
I'd be like, stranger danger.
not gonna. Yeah.
Somebody
Okay.
help me.
Yeah. It's a whole different
911.
fantasy. Yeah.
So wait, why have you never called anyone slut? You've never felt comfortable enough, or
That's the title.
I think I've been in a handful of relationships.
You're
And-
so funny, Jabron.
And I thank you. It's not intentional.
I know.
the
It's just,
problem.
You're so you, and I love it.
Thank you. I think it's because when you get to a comfortable space with a girl, you have to be in a relationship at that point, or like to a.
That's what your mom told you.
well, you're
what my
fucked
mom
up in the
told me.
head.
So
you got
I'm having-
scammed.
No, it's not true. So wait, go into that more. How do you mean? Like,
Well, like so I've had a good amount of sex since I was 23, but it's not like I'm having the same sex with a girl for months. It'll be like a couple times and then one of us move on.
okay, yeah,
So by the time we're getting to the point where it's like, let's explore.
right.
I start over with someone else.
And why? What's the common denominator with that? Do you get less interested, or do you just kind of fade away? Both of you fade away from each other.
I think it's both of that.
Yeah.
And then I just don't see any potential.
Right.
It's weird because I'm so horny all the time.
Me too.
And I want to have sex with everyone.
Oh, right, yeah.
But in reality, it's just like I won't have sex with everyone.
Damn.
Unless I think that there's some sort of potential.
Yeah, because it's fun to build towards something.
For sure.
Yeah.
But it's also
So wait, you've never just fucked someone because they were hot?
yeah. Yes, with lots of alcohol involved.
Oh,
But here's the thing: it's not like girls are just like dying to have sex with me at the same time. So there's plenty of girls who I would just fuck and
because
never
you're so
talk to.
thoughtful.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
guess so. So I don't get those opportunities to just have sex with a random hot girl. and
Also,
then-
usually when a guy's into kinky stuff, I could usually tell through the vibe. I don't get that vibe with you. I like that. It's surprising.
yeah,
Yeah, that's fun.
Thank you.
So maybe
You're so nice that it's like hidden. You could actually have some like fucked up shit
Oh,
in your
you're
yeah.
a dirty motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got tools? You got
I got everything.
Wow,
I
good
got
for
a
you.
mask. No, I don't have tools and stuff. Yeah,
I was like, wow, how
I was just aiming
advanced.
this.
No, I feel like you could be kind of fucked up because you smile too much, and that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Wow, all these red
It
flags
is a
that I'm
red
not
flag. I
seeing.
agree. I laugh a lot too with myself.
Does anything make you, do you have rage in you?
No, but when I'm into rough sex a little bit, but none of that could be returned to me. Yeah, everything I
mean?
kind of like soften the blow after I say it.
think I'm masculine.
Yeah.
I'm into rough sex a little bit.
Little. As long as it doesn't hurt too much.
But
what
like
kind of
a
rough?
girl, if a girl choked me or did anything that they're dominating me, I'm not into at all.
So that's a power dynamic. That's a very specific
Yeah.
power dynamic. And some people are into like switching power dynamics, and some people are only into the sexual experience as the dom or as the sub. So you
Yeah.
like being the dom.
Yeah,
which
100%.
is the sub technically in kink. If you break it down, the sub is the one in control, really.
Yeah.
Because they have the power to say stop. They have the power to stop
Oh,
everything.
interesting.
Yeah, which is why I like being the sub.
because it's like you're playing with this power dynamic where ultimately under it all, you are the one in control.
Yeah,
But
you're
that's not
dictating
what
the
we're
boundaries.
pretending here. It's like we're both
for
pretending
sure.
you're in control, even though we both know I am.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. So like, what's like the kinkiest thing you've done sexually with a partner in the past?
I'd say it's more location. I've had a lot of public sex.
Okay, public.
Yeah.
Like where?
The best sex was at the Hollywood Bowl.
Okay.
That like overlooking. I think that's the Hollywood Bowl. We had to like climb a fence at like 2 a.m. and there's just like a table like this size, and I'm just like fucking
in
a
the
girl.
woods or?
No. It's like on the hills.
Oh,
and there's
outside.
just like lookout.
Hollywood
Yeah.
Bowl is a sports venue.
No,
right?
but it's not that. There's some other Hollywood thing. They'll like do tour buses.
So
by
not
it
the
and
Hollywood
stuff.
Bowl. Like the sign, the Hollywood sign, right?
No, not the Hollywood sign. I don't know. It's
Someplace
the
You are the
Hollywood
feminine energy.
Overlook or something, but we had to like climb a fence and then we
Okay.
outside we could see all of the city. That sounds more romantic than like
Yeah,
freaky.
yeah.
I've had anal sex a good amount of times.
A good amount of time. Now, how does that come about? Does the woman offer her butthole up, or do you ask?
I don't think I've ever asked.
Okay, that's good.
All the times.
Good.
The only times I've had anal sex was when I was drunk. I love anal sex on porn, like almost exclusively.
Ooh, why? Interesting. Why?
I like
always wanted to-
leggings. I like stockings. I like anal. If there's not anal in the porn, it's almost as like, why waste my time?
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
now we're getting somewhere. So why the beehole in the porn? What about it? Contrast. Because I've heard
Like size contrast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, like the dick looks
and maybe
bigger?
it's taboo. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
it's
wrong.
taboo. You tell
so
me,
that like
yeah.
stimulates me.
Yeah.
I think it's the contrast. It's like big dick, small hole.
Yeah. Well, the
So
vagina's
that's-
also small.
Yeah, but the butthole is smaller.
Is
think.
it? The entry
Definitely.
is
The entry is smaller.
tighter.
Yeah, yeah.
The entry is tighter, but then I heard once your penis is in a woman's ass,
Yeah.
it's just empty space once you're in it. So it's
Yeah.
only that entry point that's the hugging your
But the
dick part.
cameras on the porn aren't inside her butt, so I'm just seeing the external.
You make a fair
size.
point.
Yeah,
You make a fair
yeah.
point.
But then in reality, I'm not crazy about anal sex because porn doesn't smell. Like the reality of
Okay,
anal
so-
is way more complicated than the simplicity in porn.
Yeah.
So you can you can
Yeah.
smell butt on your penis after you fuck someone in the ass.
That's the title.
It's the fear of smelling shit.
The
and
fear?
seeing
What
shit.
would happen? Wait, let's therapist this. What would happen if you did smell shit on your dick, Gibran?
It wouldn't smell good.
And then wait, I'm not done. And then what would happen?
I would clean it.
And then what would happen?
I'd take a nap.
And then what would happen?
I'd probably wake up and hit my nicotine vape.
Was that so bad?
No, but
There we go.
Would it change how you felt about the woman whose poop you got on your dick?
no, I don't think so.
That
Why
was
is it-
hesitant. That was
yeah.
I had
hesitant.
sex. I had sex with the next ones, and we were just having doggy style sex, and I could smell her butt, and it turned me off. She didn't know I could smell her butt. I could smell her butt.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes butt smell.
Sometimes butt smell, and it smelled
you've
like
been
shit.
you've been
And this
jogging.
was
but that
and it was
is-
vaginal sex, and I couldn't even handle that.
dude, that is a turnoff though, and I don't disagree with
she
you.
has
I have a
poor
big
hygiene.
nose. Like
Yeah.
it's powerful. I can taste with my nose. It's like next level senses. I can smell butt from like a mile away. But that's why porn is a safe space for my nose.
This is a very
I'm so glad you're here.
sensory overload episode. Okay, so wait. Okay, first of all, is it true that I guess your nostrils are larger? Because I was like, is this
Does
just
that mean you could smell better?
I don't.
I always felt like I had some sort of superpower.
Like, can you tell I have my period?
Yes. No, I can't tell you have your period. What?
Okay.
Because
I
you
don't
can
know.
you
Your
can
nose is
smell
so
that
good.
sometimes, but like usually like in a women's restroom. Like if you can smell
Yeah.
someone has their period just like being in the room, that's
not good.
That's a bad.
No. I can't tell that.
Okay,
at all.
good.
Okay, we wanted to know how good this superpower.
Yeah, what are we
was.
talking
I just feel like it's more sensitive than other people.
So, but
Okay,
I totally get
okay.
what you're saying. If
and
you're
it bothers me more maybe than other people, or maybe I just smell more than other people.
It's like your nose has empathy.
it does.
Yeah.
I have an emotional nose.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
nose has heart.
Yeah, Yeah.
And then when that heart smells some butt on the lady you're fucking from behind, you're gonna turn right round.
Okay,
Oh,
let's get into this because I agree with you, and so I know sex kind of is gross, and like when you have good sex, it gets gross. But I also, if I smell something weird on a guy, it's really hard for me to then continue to be attracted to him, and this is like why
In general?
I hate farts and burps because they're smelly and they're gross, and I don't like it.
When a guy poops and you have to smell it, I never want to fuck you again.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't think
Which isn't fair.
because I think a lot of women would, if they heard you tell that story, would be like, oh, he just like doesn't deserve to fuck a woman. But it's like, no, I think we all should shower more.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because
That's
people
for
are
hygiene.
fucking nasty.
Yeah.
You gotta wipe better or something.
Yeah.
If you can smell the beehole as it's flopping up and down your D, you gotta.
Now, for that sexual encounter, do you remember, like, was it planned or just like, did you just like take her and she was like not expecting it, so she didn't have time?
For the outdoors thing?
No, for the butt
for the
smelling.
butt when the butthole's
The outdoors, we don't care about romance.
Yeah.
We want to get into the smelly butt.
I mean, it was just at my apartment, but she did live in Yonkers.
Okay, so she made a long journey.
She made a long journey.
Right. Now,
took
did
the
you lose your
subway.
erection? Like, what do you do in that moment?
Interesting.
Like, when you get repulsed during sex from a smell, which it happens and it makes sense, but what do you do?
I think I just turned her around and missionaried it.
You didn't lose your erection though?
No.
And she was like,
that
wow,
was in my 20s.
Wow, he wants to see
in my
face.
30s, maybe. Yeah, she just thought, oh, wow,
Wow, he
he's
really
just
wants
so
to look in my
pretty.
eyes.
God.
He wants to see this beautiful mug.
Now I'm gonna have to rewrite my doggy style joke because maybe it's complimentary if he's fucking you from behind. Because
Oh, yeah.
butt doesn't
That could be
smell.
part 2 of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It
that's
could
right.
keep going.
You saw it
You
the other
could
day.
extend
Yeah.
it.
Wait, I'm curious.
Here's Johnny.
What have you ever had any other instances while like you're having sex and something happens, you see something, you hear something, you smell something, and you're like, oh man.
Yeah, because you can tell you're a very clean guy. So like, are you overly particular? Like you have a cleanliness that rivals a serial killer. I do want to say,
Okay.
Yeah.
And Mike senses it. We're Jersey.
senses it?
We're Jersey strong. Every time he laughs, he's agreeing with me because we're Jersey strong. So we have a deep distrust of others.
I've known Gibran for a minute too. Like we've known each other for years, and there were times where I was, because I'm a very clean guy too. And when I met Gibran, I was like, this motherfucker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He makes you look
Spick and span.
disgusting.
Yeah.
God, I gotta
What's
get
your
butt wipes.
deodorant?
I gotta get wipes. I gotta get wipes.
Yeah. Oh, I always
gotta make
carry
sure.
wipes with me for
That's
both
smart.
vagina
Oh,
and
interesting.
butt because it's like
You never know.
You want to be spontaneous, but you never want to have someone come on a podcast and tell a smelly butt story.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
I live in fear of these things daily.
because sometimes you have an off day and you forget.
Yeah.
I completely get it. It doesn't ban. I'm not like, in my head, I'm not banning the woman.
Of course,
It was
but
just- I
scent
get it.
is the
Shit
strongest
happens.
sense
No
tied to
pun
memory.
intended.
Yeah, but it's just like I don't want to taint the vibe that we have with a
Yeah.
smelly butthole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you lived with a woman before?
No.
And is it because their smelliness?
No, not at all. I've lived briefly, but not like moved in.
Right.
Like
Well,
when
that's
I
what
was
I
staying
meant,
with
yeah.
someone for a month. No.
That doesn't count.
I'm rather novice to an extent now that I
Aw.
think about it. In relationships, like I've been in long-term relationships, but they've been on and off or
Yeah.
stuff like that.
What's the
Yeah.
longest consecutive relationship you've been in?
A year, maybe?
Okay. So that makes
Yeah.
sense that you haven't lived with
Consecutive
anyone.
is then no breaking up and getting back together.
Yeah, none of
I
that.
think.
None of the on again, off again stuff.
I think maybe a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the most sexually adventurous thing you've done? Sex outdoors? Like, have you ever been to a sex club?
No,
Okay. I
I've never been to a sex club.
feel like you'd have fun.
I don't know if I would.
You don't have to have sex. You can just watch.
Your meticulous cleanliness might get in the way because
they're
that's the
very
thing for
clean.
me too.
Well, I would imagine not everyone is attractive in the sex club.
That's for damn
Well,
sure, Javon.
yeah.
Oh my
So
god.
then it's just like,
If you're
why?
going to the
Number
Upper East
one
Side,
review.
yes. But if you're going to Soho, I gotta say,
Okay.
I went to the one in Soho too. Fucking thumbs down on both.
Wow, I went to the one NSFW old location in, I think it might have been Chelsea or Meatpacking or something. Everyone was stunning. I'm like, this is
Wow.
if I could pay people to be in a sex club for me to have fun in, this is exactly how I would do it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I think the problem is like the people who are less attractive are more pleasant to be around.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the
Correct.
people who are really hot are those
Yeah.
people who love to have like 8-hour conversations about sex before they have sex, which in that case, just give me an ugly.
Yeah.
And I
For
really
sure.
mean that. I
Yeah.
really, from the bottom of my
Write
heart.
that timestamp down. That's very funny.
It's easier to be more emotionally attracted to people who are physically attractive because their personalities are better.
Wait, guys
Which then
think
makes
that?
you physically. I think that.
Whoa. Have you dated a woman that wouldn't be considered physically attractive by society standards?
He's like, I mean, I have not. I'm saying theoretical.
I'm all talk.
This is all hypothetical.
I've been on dates. I've tried. I've really tried. And it just didn't. I just wasn't attracted.
Listen, I
It
took
just felt like a
took her
family
for a
member.
spin around the lot.
Yeah, I've been around emotionally.
Oh my
I have
god.
tried.
Well, big
women-
of you. Thank
Yeah,
you so
thanks.
much.
You're welcome.
Sometimes women, because I'm attracted to who the person is, and sometimes the person's looks are so not what I would go for that it just my attraction to them feels uncomfortable. Or I'm
Yeah.
like, why am I attracted to you? Physically,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
not my
yeah.
type at all. It's to the point where it feels weird, like I'm at odds with myself.
Wait,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
remember you ever being having like a huge crush on anyone who was like not attractive.
The one guy, like that's not the looks I would go after. That's
was-
not
yeah.
the type I would
You
go
whispered pretty loudly.
It did get picked up.
I realized, I realized I whispered into
should've
her
just
mic.
said it.
I whispered into her microphone.
directly
Whispering
in,
is like choking, Krystyna. You just gotta put it gently.
That was funny.
We'll bleep that.
Yeah,
but
just-
that's so funny, dude.
I heard it like
You've been doing this so long, you forget there's a microphone
distinctly.
here.
That's really fun. I also should have pulled my headphones off.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, she could whisper. Just
Come in my ear.
Hey, we're all not the smartest all the time.
tried to whisper into Corinne's ear and the headphones were on.
And I just yelled it
The
into
neighbor
the microphone.
knocks. Hey, could you quiet down? I was whispering. I swear to God.
Oh man. Oh fuck. Okay.
I do want to tell you guys something that could have been a crazy sexual thing.
Let's go.
Okay.
Wow, you got some almost.
Okay. I had a lot of almost. My whole life is an almost. What the fuck?
That's the
Okay.
title of your album.
I met a girl at a bodega next to Gotham.
I'm already loving it.
there, bodega. There was a gay Persian deli guy who was like trying to hook me up. This girl was wearing yoga pants. I love yoga pants.
Okay. So you
Who doesn't? Who
yoga
doesn't?
You know what yoga pants cause? Smelly buttholes.
Oh,
Anyway, go ahead.
That is true.
That's true.
I guess I'm
Yeah.
learning.
Can't have it
Basically,
all.
this was an Indian girl.
Okay.
I didn't know too much about her. We went on one date, nothing crazy. It was fine. I tried to kiss, didn't get a kiss. Cool, whatever.
How do you try? Does she go like she like
Yeah.
turned away? Oh
Yeah.
no, surprise!
I think the first date pulled away.
Oh.
Second date, I tried to kiss, and she let me kiss her, which is not fun.
She was not enthusiastic
She didn't
about it based
turn.
off of that.
And then third date, and I'm just like,
You're
all right.
so
She keeps going on dates with you
She was hot, and she always wore yoga pants.
on the dates.
She wore like tight clothes.
And she
like
always
leggings.
said yes to the dates, even though she was pulling away from the kisses.
And I met her
Was
at
she
a
me?
bodega, so clearly I'm like a random dude. But the gay Persian dude, he doesn't have to be gay, but he was gay. And he was very flamboyant.
Well, it's
and that was,
helpful.
Like,
part of the
Gay guy-
dynamic.
I feel like a gay
helped
guy's a
set
better
it up.
matchmaker.
Yeah, because he was
I felt
matchmaking.
safer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Third date, we're at her place. She lived in a really nice place right above Gotham. I'm at her place. And
Now everyone's going to be on fucking 23rd Street, like looking for a hot Indian girl in yoga pants.
Where is she?
Who knows if she lives there anymore? This was years ago. We're at her place. I tried to kiss again. Third date, didn't get a kiss.
But
So
went
she
back
le-
to her place.
yeah, and I
That's
was
not saying
I've
fuck
been
me,
to
but
her
that is
place
saying you could
before.
kiss me.
Yeah,
Fuck,
didn't
okay.
get the kiss back, and then in my head it's like, I'm just gonna go. What's the point?
Right.
Like. It's not like I was like, oh, I'm only gonna have sex with this girl or whatever. But it's like, all right, what are we doing here then?
Right,
This
right.
isn't dating.
Right.
And then I think I said, all right, I'm gonna go. And then she didn't want me to go.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So then she
was
like
conflicted.
kissed me, and then I kissed her back,
and she
I'm
was like, "Ew, no, I didn't want that."
and then suddenly she's like, be more aggressive. And I'm like,
Okay, so you probably kissed her the way that you're talking about it then. Like
Yeah.
meaning like, hey, so like here's my lips.
I'm not gonna.
And that's
force,
not the kiss
I'm
a
not
lady
gonna
wants.
force her mouth open. It has
No.
to be.
But you
it has to
gotta
be-
you gotta take her head and move. You know, you gotta like.
No, but I can kiss, and I can be aggressive when I kiss.
Okay.
I can read that temperature. I think.
It seemed like she wanted you to be a little more forceful in your actions.
She
Like,
did, Krystyna.
Where is this going?
She was like, be more aggressive. So
Okay.
then I was a little bit more
So
aggressive.
then you punched her in the face.
and then I slapped the shit out of her. So now we're on her bed.
Okay.
And keep in mind, we went on 2 dates, no kissing.
Right.
yeah.
Now we're on her bed, and I'm like trying to process, like, are we gonna have sex? Like, what's
Right.
And I'm being a little bit more aggressive, and she's like, no. And
Just
I'm like,
no out of the blue. Just the
just
word
like
no.
which is confusing. And I'm like, okay, so I like
No, what
stopped.
no? Yeah.
It was literally just no, and I'm like, okay, and so I kind of stopped, and then she's like, no, keep kissing me, and I'm like, okay, and then she's like, be more aggressive, and I'm like, all right, so I started being more aggressive, and she's like, no, like loudly.
Oh, so I think
She's creating a fantasy.
I'm wondering
yeah.
if she's trying to, if the no is part of her aggressive fantasy
It
role play.
100%
But
was.
you gotta announce
My
that.
God. So she said no,
yeah.
and then I stopped again, and I'm losing my erection. It's like
Right,
going
'cause
away.
you're-
I'm
it's
confused.
confused, yeah.
I don't know and then I think I tried one more time, and then she's like, no. I've completely lost it. And it's just
Man,
like,
communication.
and
man.
then I stopped, and she like commented on it. She's like, you're not hard. And then I had like low key shame. Because then I'm confused and I'm like, wait, am I
Right.
supposed to be hard right now?
I'm
am
yelling, and you're not fully erect,
It
man.
was
I know
so
for 3 days.
confusing. And then I was like, as a guy, I'm just like, oh fuck, I'm supposed to be like hot and horny and ready, but I'm not.
right. There's not a lot of clarity happening here.
There
in this
was no
situation.
clarity.
Yeah, when you're fearing you might be raping someone, usually,
Yeah.
usually
And then
a good guy isn't going to be erect.
All the
Thank
blood
you.
goes to your
Thank you.
decision-making brain
Exactly.
instead of your dick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because part of me
right.
felt like, am I like assaulting this? I
Right.
didn't know what the fuck was happening.
That's not like a horny thought. Am I
Right.
it's
assaulting
not.
this person?
Right.
It's
Right.
not.
Nor
And if
should
it
it be.
was, then
That's
I'm
bad.
the
Right.
devil.
Right.
Yeah. No, yeah, that is a thing that happens. How was she in her 20s?
Yeah, like 27-ish.
Oh,
yeah.
27.
And I was, like,
Okay,
the
so that's
same
surprising.
age, yeah.
Because a lot of times, like I've done that before, like in my early to mid 20s, where I was like, I wanted the aggression, but I just didn't have the tools in my tool belt to like go after that D. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
So she later, so there was like awkward silence.
You stuck around.
Emphasis on, oh yeah, I didn't know what I was, and
Well, he thought he
didn't
might
wanna
need to
leave.
fill out some police paperwork.
she got really quiet, and she was like, oh, this was just supposed to be like fun, and I was like confused, and then I was like, hey, listen, you can't just jump into rape.
Nice.
That's
nice.
the
I told her that. I was like, you gotta let me know.
oh, is that was actually the fantasy that she was?
She was trying to create a rape fantasy without telling me,
Right,
and
right,
we've
right.
never even kissed, made out, fingered, titty grabbed.
God, that's
It was from
so-
0 to rape.
Right,
Yeah, yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
Quite a difference.
That's too fast.
Yeah, that's too fast because
Way too
God, I
fast.
so know what's happening there. I so understand what's happening. When you want something sexually, but you don't have the fucking swag to get it
Yeah.
with your sexual partner, then it's two opposing forces. It's
It
like
was-
it's
yeah.
like being really horny but also having period diarrhea at the same time. And you're like, these can't work together. These have
Yeah.
to go in separate
The
compartments.
only place that something that fast works into rape fantasy is Grindr, but you have to put it literally in your profile.
Right,
Like
right.
I've heard
And you-
stories
That's
on
still
that.
communication, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
have
but think
communication
about
with
it. If she was on this was a heterosexual woman on an app and she said, I want to meet up for a rape fantasy, no one would swipe yes on that person.
right.
And maybe a real rapist,
For a
Jibran.
rape fantasy?
Would you swipe on it? Or is this the same as the funny personalities? Not for me, but in theory.
Yes, it's more like that.
Thank you.
I would not swipe. I'd just be like, oh, she's freaky. We can, if she's hot and I'm attracted to her, like, all right, we can explore this. But I would meet up with her with like a mask on and like break through her window.
And that
Unless she
happened.
asked.
I've heard multiple Grindr stories where something like that happened.
I wouldn't. I
Wait, like you
couldn't
said,
do that.
like yeah, that's fun. That's like but that to me is advanced kink. Like
Oh,
that.
that's advanced. I need
Yeah.
to know the person.
Well, it's also the safety, and this is not to say that sexual assault isn't prevalent in the gay community. It certainly is, but
Right.
there is I think a heightened level of trust when it's men on men, especially
More
if it's
so.
like men of a similar stature.
Yeah.
Whereas woman guy to meet up for a rape fantasy like the
can't.
first
You
time
gotta
you
know.
go. I mean,
Holy
this is
shit.
you're
it's a real
suicidal.
gamble.
You're
oh
suicidal.
yeah.
yeah.
So
Wow, that's so funny because it's like that is a fun sexual explorative activity. Like,
Yeah.
it's so fun. It's so arousing. There's so many hot things about that power dynamic, but it cannot be hot in the slightest if you don't approach it right.
100%.
Oh, And I feel like there's so many interactions that happen like that with men and women in particular, because we're just on straight guys and straight women we're raised so differently with society's bullshit. No matter even beyond like whatever culture we're raised in, there's still like those societal gender specific things that like it feels like an impossible feat to communicate.
That's like if I'm with a girl and I jumped into a stepmom fantasy without telling her.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want to go to school today. I don't want. She's like, what? What are you talking about? My room is dirty.
Then don't. Then clean it. I don't understand.
The way she could have approached that though, without having like getting to know you too well, if that's part of the fantasy, is just texting it to you ahead of time. Like,
or while you're at dinner text.
Yeah. Like, well, I'm like, listen, like tonight we're gonna meet up, and I want to like be more aggressive, and I'm gonna say no, but no means yes, and like that's how you really quickly have to. Because when you text about it before, you've still communicated, but there is something that keeps like it more mysterious and sexier. Because I understand, and this is like a lot of my problem with like the kink community, and I'm sure their problem with me, is that I don't like to have long conversations about sex. It really takes the fun out of it and the spontaneity.
Brevity is key.
But there does need to be fucking communication, especially when you don't know somebody that well.
And also, I don't know if you kinky like that. Like I need, all I need is a nod. I was seeing a guy not that long ago, and I was throwing out tiny little hints, and if he latched onto one of them, then I knew he was kinky, and he didn't latch on.
He was swatting it away like he was Venus Williams.
He really was. And so I was like, I can't. Our sex life is not what I would want it to be, because I threw those little hints out and I didn't get any.
Yeah.
If you're kinky, or even if you haven't practiced it, but you're interested in it, you'll go, wait, what's that? And then the conversation goes from there. So, I feel for that girl, like wanting that experience, but then not understanding like how to communicate it.
From what she later indicated, she was in a 7-year relationship with an Indian guy. She's Indian, so I'm assuming sexually conservative community background. She probably never really had a lot of freaky or got to execute her fantasies.
Right.
And I was just a guy she was putting that onto.
She's like, well, I met him in a bodega. How plain Jane can he be?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then when I told her, I was like, hey, you can't just do that.
Right.
She started crying. And I didn't know what I was supposed to do.
It was cool of you to say that, honestly, because I thought that's probably a hard thing to have to say to someone.
But it's an important thing to have to say.
Sure.
Because also, too, what that's teaching her is, okay, this is a sexual fantasy that's completely awesome and fun, but you have to.
I wasn't shaming it. But if I was in a relationship, I would have explored it.
She was probably crying, I imagine, because it's like she wants, like her vagina wants something, and her mouth just doesn't know how to get it yet. And that is, it's frustrating, especially because it's like women. I feel like our horniness is like precious to us. Like when we are horny, we're like, yes, let's go. And then when it doesn't work out, you're like, no.
Yeah.
She probably felt a little embarrassed too, unnecessarily so.
Right.
But like women, I feel like, even more so than men, when we put ourselves out there sexually and we're rejected. Like I know you guys feel embarrassed, but you guys are more used to it. So
we're desensitized
I feel
to it.
really embarrassed.
I have been rejected for sex twice in my life, and I'll never forget it.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really embarrassing to like put on a sexy outfit and then like, and then people be like, oh,
you
not in the mood, or
you put on a sexy outfit.
No. This is from a TV show. And I'm just using it as a scenario.
To go through all that effort.
Oh yeah, that stinks.
But it's like, I mean,
you forget men can say no too.
The costume designer put you in that outfit, and then you were rejected because it said so in the script.
Have you ever used costumes or role play?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Like what?
Psychologist. Oh wait,
I wanted to say Aladdin so badly.
Oh, that would be fun. I would do Aladdin.
Feels a little racist to say.
It'll be weird, but
Aladdin.
I would do it.
Actually, Aladdin was my first crush. Aladdin was my first crush.
Really?
Oh my god.
I don't know who my first crush.
Aladdin was so hot.
I'm open to explore. Like I'm pretty loose.
I'm trying to costume
as far in reality.
Yeah.
You're
I guess
tall.
I haven't done that much freaky shit, but I'm not down for it.
Right. I could tell in your eyes. I see.
Yeah, I'm adventurous.
Yeah, good.
I didn't role play psychologist. I think I role played professor, but I was studying psychology at the time.
Okay, so you had a psychology
in my head,
textbook.
maybe it was psychology professor.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you had
really
student.
got into this.
You had a student who wasn't listening
exactly.
to you or something. Like, maybe she was like disobeying you or whatever.
Yeah.
You said earlier in the interview about being Pakistani and then having divorced parents and that being like very not common.
Yeah.
Do you think that affected you or your family or the way the community looked upon you?
On me or my family?
You're both, either?
100%.
Okay, so judgy.
Yeah, because that kind of stuff is so interesting to me.
Wow, that stinks.
100%. Wait, before I say that, the girl was crying and I didn't know what I was supposed to do. So I tried to console her.
That's nice.
And she said, just leave.
Yeah,
and I was like, all right. And then a couple days later, she texted me like, are you still mad at me?
You were like, I was never mad at you.
I kind of wasn't.
Oh, you were mad because you
I didn't showcase that. I was,
Right,
but I
right.
was annoyed as
You're
fuck.
like, we
I was
could
like,
have had
yo,
a
what
really
the
fun
fuck?
sexual
And I was
interaction.
so confused for a week. I was like questioning myself, like,
Right.
why
like
wasn't
she
I
tricked
turned
you
on?
into a rape
Yeah.
and then shame. Okay, I understand.
And then
Okay.
she texted me, "Are you mad?" And I just never texted her back.
Right. Yeah, that's probably for the best. Yeah.
Well, I think you both learned from that situation, and you don't need anything.
Those are one of those sexual interactions that you have in your life that really shape how you think about things, because you're like, okay, how do I?
Yeah.
What tools do I need to gather to avoid this in the
Yeah,
future?
yeah.
Like, how can I handle this better?
100%.
Yeah.
With divorce, my huge taboo.
Okay.
And I definitely think the community like removed themselves from my mom because my mom initiated the divorce.
And so everybody and
Damn.
everyone in the community, like the word gets out.
Yeah, for sure.
Shit. So even if that was better for her mental health, doesn't matter.
I mean,
it's
she's
less of a taboo to
resilient.
stay.
She's a goddess. She's like a fucking powerhouse.
Nice.
And she probably grew a lot from that and just
Yeah.
through the marriage itself, because it
Yeah.
wasn't the best marriage. But there was definitely rejection, being, like cut off from the
Ousted.
community, ousted, being on your own, recreating your own community
Yeah,
and network
going.
post that.
Yeah, I can make my own rules now, my own. But it's still like a
100%.
lonely feeling to be
For
like
sure.
rejected like that.
And it was terrible for my mom.
Aw.
But my mom ended up being the president of like a nonprofit organization focused on helping women going through like domestic violence issues and not
We actually
having
should have
the-
invited your mom.
Oh, yeah, I
on
wanna
the
interview
podcast.
My mom is amazing.
badass.
She's fucking super badass.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Wow, and
she
she
helps
had to
women
face-
immigrate who because oftentimes in a lot of these communities, when you have like immigrant marriages that are arranged or you're coming,
Yes.
they don't necessarily have the education, or even if they do, they don't have the autonomy of working
Right.
or the resume where they're providing, because that's left up to the man.
Right.
So if a divorce happens, the courts will rule in favor of the dad because he can provide financially
Oh.
to have the kids, even if the kids are more attached to the mom, and the mom is kind of stuck because it's like, all right, I need to figure out how to live now.
Right.
But I couldn't live because the guy wouldn't let me live.
Right.
So I'm all on my own. I don't get to
Wow.
see my children.
So that
what the fuck is happening?
So that experience that your mom went through, she was like, "I'm gonna help other people not go through this."
100%. She still
Hell
does
yeah.
it to this day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was actually serious about having your mom.
Can we
on.
have really?
Is she
where
in
does
New
she
York?
live?
She lives in West Virginia
We'll
now.
Zoom her.
Yeah, we'll zoom her.
I'll
That's
ask her.
great. Yeah, that would be
She's
fascinating.
amazing. She's a social butterfly too.
It's like that interaction
Yeah.
above Gotham. Tell her she has no fucking choice.
yeah.
Tell her no means yes, Gibran.
Yes.
Oh my God. Wow.
Wow.
You can't ask her to be on the podcast. She just has to come.
Yeah.
She'll figure it out.
I feel like it helps. This is why I love talking to people who I've known a long time but don't know like where they came from in complexity, because I think this really like helps me understand who you are and why you are the way you are.
Yeah.
This is why you're an empathetic man, and
Yeah.
people only want to be in relationships with you because you have such a good mom.
Yeah.
100%.
And that speaks a lot about a man, honestly.
It only
When
works
it's-
on men though, because I
Yeah.
also have a good, resilient mom, but it just turned me into a whore.
That's funny. That
As
is
it does.
interesting.
Yeah, because it's the power dynamic is
Yeah.
switched, right? So
Yeah.
powerful mom, powerful daughter, whore, powerful mom with empathetic son.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
mentally ill mom, whore daughter. So,
whore, like it's
whore no matter what you do. You're whore if you do, whore if you don't.
Yeah, it's like those
if you do, what if you
cosmopolitan
don't?
like mazes where
Are
like
you a
this is who
whore?
you
Oh,
are,
that's
and then
funny.
whore is a lot of the
Yeah,
answer for a lot
you're
of
mostly
them.
a whore.
The only outcome is whore.
Yeah. I mean, I'll only date a whore, so I like that.
But I had a fear of divorce without being married. Like,
Right.
I don't, that probably played into me being more like, if I hook up with a girl, there has to be more potential.
Okay.
Because subconsciously, I was like, well, if we date and then I get married, I can't have a divorce and after I have kid, like really playing it out subconsciously.
Yeah, I can't
without
ruin a
even
woman's life
processing
like
that.
my mom.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, but it
I
turns
wouldn't
out
even
okay.
have fear in relationship if I'm being too aggressive. I don't
know if
want
that's
to come
possible.
off, huh?
I don't know.
But it's a fear, but it's not
What?
reality. 'Cause
Right. I see. Yeah.
I would talk to my mom So, and I was like, how do I know? And I shouldn't be saying this out loud, but how do I know I'm not an abusive man?
No, so wait, so
emotionally,
right? But so you're not. Obviously, you're not though. But I think maybe part of you thinks having that fear is insurance that you're not that. But you can be not an abusive man without having the fear that you're an abusive man. It just takes mental agility.
My mom was saying the fact that you're thinking that is what's separating you.
I agree with that.
Right.
Because you're checking it. I mean, during the Me Too movement, I was literally going through all my relationships with men and making sure I wasn't a rapist. You know?
Oh, interesting.
You know, because I think it was so directed on men, and I was
that's interesting.
And then I was just like, but we should be analyzing all the relationships that we have had.
Okay.
You know,
well, because
it goes both ways.
And also too, when you're the gender in society that that doesn't usually experience the rejection, like it's almost like socially acceptable for men to experience mostly rejection because that's just how that's how it goes or whatever. And then so I think that is also a contributing factor to when a woman gets rejected. She's like, wait, what? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, this isn't
that
what
shouldn't
the books
happen.
Say.
And we forget that life doesn't operate by what how society thinks it should, you know?
Do you think a lot of women looked at themselves and how they were in relationships? Or is that
it was just, well, I mean, I think
because I haven't heard that before.
It was because of this. It was because of this podcast.
Okay,
but I mean, I think that is a blind spot of the Me Too movement. If we're talking about it, like, yes, is it predominantly women being the victims? Absolutely. But are men also the victims? Yes. And especially in the earlier years of puberty for men, almost every 16-year-old guy every guy I know when they were 16 had an uncomfortable experience with their mom's friend.
Yeah,
almost
or a babysitter
everyone.
or something.
I know a lot. While I certainly know way more women who were raped than men, I know more men who were casually molested than women.
Yeah.
But and then you go tier lower, groped. That's every woman.
Yeah. That never. I mean, this is almost a generic thought, but I wish that happened to me.
Well, it's not a generic thought.
I wish I had a hot babysitter. No. I'm saying.
And that's fine to say because a lot of it, I think they're that
too.
Whereas most women had experienced that like that, and they almost 100% didn't like it. I think for men, it's really split because of how society is. So a lot of guys were like, "Yeah, man, I would have loved to fuck my hot teacher," and then for the other 50%, it was a really terrible experience for them. And that's why
you realize I'm a child.
Yeah, well, that's why you can't tell someone when you hear someone's story, you can't be like you were assaulted because it's well, if they don't feel like they were assaulted, then that's their own kind of journey to go on.
Yeah.
No need making a problem where someone feels there is none, unless you're a therapist and you're working through the depths of something that they're repressing.
Gibran, have you ever had a sexual interaction with a woman where she was a little too forceful? Or she wouldn't take no, she was aggressive in a way that you didn't like? No,
I mean, a girl is trying to make out with me, but I wasn't into her, but I just made out anyways.
And you were fine with that?
Yeah, I was like, all right. She took a shot. I can't turn down. I know what it's like. So I was like, all right, yeah, fuck it. Let's just honor that. Yeah.
Were you drunk or?
No, I was completely sober. It was by Washington Square Park.
Aw.
Yeah, she just went in.
Were you on a date or just a random lady?
No, it was a date, but I had already decided I wasn't into it.
Okay.
But I mean, I gotta respect going in for the shot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not easy.
Yeah.
So it's all right, cool. Yeah.
Wow, you really are empathetic. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's not she didn't force herself to have sex with me.
Yeah. Well, I might
have even done that at that point. It was fuck, dude, try to have sex with someone. That's not easy.
I feel bad.
Yeah, why not?
I think you might be the feminine.
You get a participation trophy at that point.
Is there anything
being down for the cause?
Is there anything that you're dying to try, or you're maybe not dying to try, but curious about in terms of a sexual activity?
More anal.
You really love anal. I love this for you.
Like a bodysuit.
On who?
On the girl.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, just a regular one, Catwoman?
I just love stretchy yoga pants, latex stockings, leggings.
Right. Oh yeah, you said stockings. Yeah.
Okay.
So just a full body suit or just more stockings.
Right.
Maybe I'll just fuck stockings. Maybe I don't even need the girl in this situation.
Go to CVS, purchase a pair of stockings, and then put cotton.
Yeah, do it on a yoga mat.
They have fishnets with a hole in the crotch. You seen those?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he has.
I mean, all the porn that. Okay, so I like anal and porn, and then if there's not stockings in the porn, I'm less interested in the
Oh,
porn.
wow.
You said stockings. Before I thought when you initially
Like
said it,
Christmas?
I thought you said stalkings, like I'm a stalker.
No,
And I was like, where's that porn? Because
No,
I would
no.
actually love that porn.
No,
a woman in a
no.
bush?
Yeah.
With the fucking binoculars.
Binoculars. Yeah, exactly.
Knock knock. So it's stockings. Okay, that's
Yeah. Stockings, leggings.
Yeah. Okay, that's common. I get
That's
that.
sweet.
That's very
That's
sweet.
sweet. I
That's
love
sweet.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything? Have you ever had a sexual fantasy that made you go, "Oh, is that weird"?
I mean, half the porn that I watch is weird.
Like, what's the weirdest porn you've watched that you've liked?
Yeah, it feels like it's gonna be weird to you, but not weird to us.
I mean, I've watched all the porn.
What's one that you're like, "Wow, I like that"?
Yeah, what's the one that you're hiding and you're thinking of right
Yeah,
now, and then
exactly.
you don't want to say, so you're trying to think of another one?
Just say it. It's fine.
I've definitely seen like stepdaughter porn
I like that. That's the edge.
Wow.
where
Crazy.
she's like,
I've seen a woman eat her own vomit out of a doggy bowl. Gibran,
shit.
let's
About this
fucking
shit.
go.
Yeah. I saw a woman put Cocoa Krispies and
Okay.
milk in her asshole.
I mean, this is not good, but what?
What were you gonna say?
Krispy.
That one was going around comedy green rooms. I guess you messed it.
I like different porn with different types of dynamics. Like sometimes I like the mom, the stepmom being more dominant, and then and then like reluctant porn where the girl's not
Oh, yeah.
really into
I-
it.
yeah.
And then I have like
Yeah.
reluctant incest porn. which is
Okay,
like the
okay.
stepdaughter, she's not really into it, and the guy's just like having sex with her, and she's like,
Right,
"No."
right. I like that porn too. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's the most I would say I'm
That-
ashamed of.
Yeah. Oh, really? Well, it's because
it's non-consensual.
I know, but you know what? You know how to fix that? I feel like not for you to fix it, but like if the porn website said right beforehand, not that people will probably fast forward over this, but like, hey, at length a conversation was had before the creating.
Everyone
making
just
of this
lost their
video.
heart on Christina.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
But then you have a girl come out with her
assumed
titties
that.
out and go, just so you guys know, you dirty boys, we had a conversation about this before it happened. I wasn't actually reluctant. And then off to the show.
And then that company goes out of business.
Yeah, I mean, you already
I just think
assumed
that's
that for the
the
most
porn
part.
category that's
Yeah.
gonna fuck people up the most
Right.
because it's so close to things that actually happen all the time that
Yeah.
it's like, oh, that's not what we think is hot. But if I trust you,
Sure.
then it's hot. Like, oh, that's why that interaction you had with that woman who lived above Gotham. I'm like, oh man, I know she wanted to get from A to B, but she fucking went to
Yeah.
D and F and K and then came back, and it's
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of idiots watching anything, but also porn. And like, that's why they have to, before you watch the Jackass movie, they have to be like, hey,
For sure.
like, don't let a piranha bite your cock.
Yeah,
you know?
FYI, we don't recommend doing this
Yeah.
in the
This
isn't
wild.
for
It's not good
everybody.
for
We
your
thought
cock.
we did. We don't.
Oh
Well,
my gosh.
where can we get more of you?
So I started my own podcast.
Yay! What's it called?
It's called Why Did I Say That?
Oh, that's
With
perfect
Gibran
for you.
Saleem, who's me. Yeah, that is
for
perfect.
you.
And then follow that. Why Did I Say That? Podcast.com. It has all the links. And at GIBRAN SALEEM. I'm sure my name will be in the link. It's
It will.
GIBRAN SALEEM.
Nice.
Yeah. And then
We loved
stand up
having
them all
you.
over. I see you guys all
Yay.
the time. So yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your stories. If anyone has
Thank
any
you for
links to
having me.
anal that they want to send,
Boom.
over.
Yeah,
With
let's
stockings.
check them out.
Or leggings.
And if they
Or
don't
leggings.
stockings,
This has been Guys We Fcked, the anti-slut-shaming podcast. We will talk to you next Friday.
yay, that was great.
Awesome. That was super fun.
Yeah, that was good. That was wonderful. You're wonderful.